Hey, what's going on? My name is Mick, and I'm posting my day trading journey right here on YouTube with complete transparency. And today was pretty straightforward. I made, I think, about $1,600 today. Couple of trades, some interesting stuff happened. The beginning of the day, I kind of had a strange trade that ended up turning into about $1,000 trade and a $600 trade. So I'll explain that, but want to jump right into like my overall market overview for like going into my day today. I had my overnight high, I had my low of day for yesterday, overnight low, and yesterday's high of day up here. I kind of used the overnight high and the overnight low as structure. Same with yesterday's low of day. So these are pretty important levels for me and I usually gauge ranges or opening ranges with those to see if we're going to be breaking out of the ranges in a bullish direction or a bearish direction. So I just kind of kept that almost as structure for the day, and I can kind of base my trades on that. Otherwise, the trades that I had this morning. So this morning we spent a couple of attempts at the overnight high, and we rejected a couple of times, and then we started to chop in a very tight range right here. And what I wanted to show was my first kind of set of trades. I actually had two accounts open, and I opened a simultaneous long and short at the same time, essentially just trying to hedge the time that we were just kind of bouncing back and forth in this little channel right here. So I opened a short position on this account right here, and this one was 1 NQ short, and then I opened a simultaneous short trade here, 1 NQ long. So they were on two different accounts, and I actually closed this one out for about $100 loss. It took me a lot less time to realize that we were actually headed down. I wasn't sure about the chop, and I was just experimenting with this whole having a simultaneous one long and one short. Ended up getting out of this trade for about $100 loss, and then I let this one run for a while. So I think the net cost of that from this win, this was about $665 on this. So the net win, we're looking at around $550 on this account. And I didn't feel too bad about it. I did know that there was going to be some volatility because today was options expiration date, and I knew that there was going to be some significant movements. Didn't know exactly how it was going to go, but I just knew that that was going to be at some point today. So that was kind of an interesting start to the day. I didn't think I was going to be in a position where I would have a simultaneous long and short, but it just happened to work out that way. I canceled the one that I didn't feel confident in, and then I let the trade run in my direction. So again, a net win for about $500. But the second trade was the largest by far, and that was this second trade here. This was also unique. It wasn't as clean as I would have liked. I have been experimenting with larger trading sizes, more contracts. So instead of, like the past couple of months, I've been dealing with kind of like 5 micro NQ, like micro contracts, which I felt really good. And I think I'm going to maintain the micro contracts for the funded accounts that I have. But for these evaluations, I am being a little bit more risky, so I'm actually trading with 1 NQ contract. And so I entered at the bottom here after this pretty large candle. If you look here, this candle created a fair value gap on the way down. Not very good entry. I'm not going to pretend that this was a good entry at all. This was around the time that I had canceled the other trade short, so I was in profit. I saw the momentum. I was looking at the market internals, and so I felt confident going short still. I stayed for this little chop, and actually when this pullback came, I entered another contract short, and I doubled my position because I felt really confident about where we were heading with the market internals, the speed at which we were moving. Everything seemed pretty clean, so I did add on to that position, and then I just let it drop. One of the confirmations that I had up here also, if you look on the left, this was a combination of this order block from this morning. I had drawn, this was a, This was an order block from this morning. It actually technically a breaker since it had been traded through, but I kept that on my chart. I knew it was decent confirmation because of the bounce from this morning, and the bounce from this morning, the breakthrough, and then the retest. This was a combination of this fair value gap touch and this breaker block, and that's why my entry, after I saw the reaction, I entered another contract short, again feeling pretty confident about that in general, and then I just let it ride. I was pretty confident. I originally didn't have a target. And my original, well, I did have a target. It was actually around 720, 14,720, which was down here. That was my original target. And the reason I did that was because it was actually my profit target for the evaluation, which was a $3,000 profit. I decided against that just because, again, I want to be in the business of getting funded accounts. And that was extremely risky. And the move that I was playing today was pretty risky. So I figured, while I'm, down here, I've already gained a significant amount of points. Why not just take profits? And I ended up with about $1,100 in profit on this trade alone. So this one was about a loss of, I think, 100 or 150, and then a gain of about 1,100 here. So about $1,000 day on this account, and then a $600 day on the other account. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how it went. I could have held, today didn't really feel like it was it didn't seem like a day with like decent entries. Yeah, these pullbacks were pretty solid. So these entries on a trending day were pretty solid. But again, I read the market really well today, and I'm not, sometimes my best trades come from discretionary days where I just really am a discretionary trader, less of a systematic trader, and there's just like this instinct associated with trading sometimes, and that's kind of how I felt today. So really just kind of an interesting day overall, starting with that first trade with the kind of the simultaneous long and shorts, and then letting the trade that was going to win, letting that run, so that was good. And then the second one, which is essentially averaging into a trade that I felt confident in to give me even more profit out of that trade. So definitely interesting, but it just felt like kind of a discretionary day today. And again, it was OpEx, so it just had to be kind of careful. But overall, it's Friday, and I finished the week on a $1,600 win. So I'm going to enjoy my weekend, and hopefully we can get some funded accounts here in the future. So I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.